How's it going? I'm Des Marciano, and I'm here with the Three Count Podcast.
Welcome everybody to another great edition of the Three Count Podcast presents Now Entering, and I'm your host Clifford Red Dog Miller, the man that leads you up the mountain called wrestling. And with this being season 6 on our 430 something episode, I would just hope you say it with me. I am your shepherd because, like your tribal chief, acknowledge me. But like every good Sherpa, you gotta have someone who's been there, done that, can do it more efficient than you can. That's why it's never about me. It's about who's entering. So who's entering the ring today? You can find this man at GGWP. You can find this man at RIWP. You can find this man at PG. He is the desirable Des Marciano.
How's it going? I only worked one PG match, but the goal is for me to get into PG. I did a Rumble. I'm very proud of it. Oh
Hey,
man, I love that. I love that.
maximize your minutes, man. That's all that matters.
Oh yeah, just.
I
Oh
mean,
man, so it's my first podcast, my first little interview. So I'm like, yeah, my first year in wrestling. So just how to break it out.
okay,
Shout out
okay.
OCW as well. I love OCW. I forgot to mention OCW too. Love OCW. Love
Yeah,
that
yeah,
company.
yeah. So okay, so this is kind of interesting because like when I usually do bring people on, like I talk to them and they're usually like years up about above me. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if you've seen I don't know if you see some of the people that we've had on the show. So it's interesting to like get to talk to people when it's like their first time. So we get to pop the cherry per se. So real question, man. Like, so what got you into the business?
Oh man, what got me into pro wrestling just in general, I was 3 years old, well, 2007, yeah, 2007, I was 3 years old. Have an older brother. He puts on Friday Night SmackDown, and from there, hooked instantly. I saw Taker, Edge, Mark Henry, and I was like, hell yeah. And we used to own, I still own it. Still own some of the DVDs. So it bought me back, watch WrestleMania 20. So I got to see all Eddie stuff, Benoit stuff. I don't know if that's bad for me to say. Kurt Angle, all that extra stuff. But what got me into it really was I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to wrestle, but like well, I was like young. What am I gonna do? So then my dad got me into football, and I did that for a couple years. And I kept breaking this arm like 3 times. I broke it, so I stopped and I got into theater. So then I started acting, and it wasn't until like 2023 where I was like, man, I want to do I want to be active again. I want to be active again because I was starting to get a little. And then I was like, I mean, why not just do pro wrestling? I've loved this since I was younger. I've always wanted to do it. And also, I have a background in acting and theater. So why the fuck not? Oh, sorry, man. I love to swear.
You're
I'm
good.
so
Yeah,
sorry.
hey, no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Don't trip.
I, I, I should have asked about, I'm so sorry. That was very unprofessional of me. But so then I mixed it together and I was like, okay, let's do it. And yeah, from there I just started. I signed up with New England Pro Wrestling Academy with Chaotic for a little bit, and then I ended up quitting that. I ended up quitting Chaotic or New England Nepwal. I ended up quitting Nepwal because at the time I was filming a movie and I was also doing a play as well, and that it costs money to do a wrestling school. So I was burning a lot of money and I wasn't really attending like that. So I was just like, man, I gotta pick and choose one. So then I ended up spending a couple months in Chaotic from like 2023 or Nepwal from 2023 all the way up to I think I was coming up about a year, and then I was like, I'm just burning money to have been attending because I'm filming this movie and that takes so much energy. And then I left there pretty sad about it. I was like, damn, whatever. But I had to make the choice. And when I was doing one of my plays, I was doing a musical, it was Ghost, for a small company. I had met Stephen Broad, who's
Mm.
one half of Middlesex Express. Now goes by Pim Daddy Apple Cinnamon. And in this musical, I murder him. I kill him in the musical. So the director was like, "Hey, like like when you go to do the fight scene, you can hit him just a little bit. He's a wrestler." And I was like, "Oh, I trained in wrestling for a little bit. That's kind of cool." So then I started talking to him, and then he was like, "Oh, what school do you go to?" And I said, I went to NEPWA, but then I stopped because of the reasons I just said. And he was like, "Oh, you want to wrestle again? Like, do you still want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I still want to do it. I just didn't have money for it like that. Like, I kind of made a bad business move." And he was like, "Cool. Here's my Facebook. Text me." And from there, fuck off. From there, fucking he was like, yo, I know a spot in Fall River. There's a Chaz Marinelli who runs RICW, and some of the TCW boys like Denzel Jordan and I can't remember the other guy's name by now. I'm so sorry. Maybe I shouldn't say his name. I don't know if I don't know if I don't know if I'll get heat for saying his name, but um pretty much trained with them for with trained with Denzel Jordan, Chaz Marinelli, and Stephen Broad for like I mean up until now, and it's been good ever since. So that's kind of I know that was a long story, but that's what got me into the business. Really, it was a up and down, but hey, wrestling found me again.
I think that's the one thing about wrestling is that like no matter where you go, like if you have like a passion for it, like wrestling, if especially for wrestling, wrestling will find you. Like it will find you again and again and again. And I remember like I recently so I used to train in Maryland and I moved to Massachusetts. So like that's where I'm out of now. But like I went to like my local GameStop and I was talking to a person there and I had mentioned that I was like, yeah, I'm kind of wrestling right now. I'm just figuring stuff out, trying to figure out where I want to go to school at and stuff. And she's like, oh, I used to wrestle. And I was like, word? She's like, yeah, I used to wrestle out of, funny enough, in Nepwa. And I was like, oh, I've trained there a couple times, and then I've gone a couple times to Wrestling Open, and then I've gone a couple times, well, bio wrestling. And then I was like, I've trained a couple times with in Fall River, crazy enough. So I've kind of like bounced around here and there, a little bit everywhere. And she was like, "Oh, do you know such and such?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I know a lot of those guys." So it's just kind of funny, like how wrestling will find you, and then you'll just. But I remember asking her, I was like, "Yo," I asked her, I remember I was like, "Do you have the itch? Do you have the itch to come back?" And she's like, "No, I don't." And by the time that I was leaving, this was a 10-minute conversation. By the time I left in that 10-minute conversation, she was like, "All right, maybe I'm starting to get an itch a little bit." And I was like, "Yeah, always pull you back. No matter what, wrestling will always pull you back."
Yeah. Oh man. I
It
don't know,
was
I've had having a blast. Well, sorry, what was that?
no, it was it's a blast, man. It's a blast being a part of like the wrestling business because like I'll be fair. No, actually, I wouldn't say the wrestling business. The wrestling, like pro wrestling, is fun because like we're like I don't know. I just heard Bailey talk about this. Like we're the fans that took it too far, and now we're actually doing the thing that we love. Where like most fans are like, yeah, behind the guardrails where I'll be, or they'll be like, oh, I could do that, but they never do. And we're the ones that were like, we'll just do it, whatever. And then here you are, like taking bumps in a ring and learning how to fall and fighting against like human nature and just like throwing yourself down. Like I tell everybody when people ask me, they're like, "What do you do?" I was like, "I throw myself on the floor like a 4-year-old and throw a tantrum." That's what I feel like.
That's awesome. Oh man.
So tell me about how you came about like the character side of things.
Honestly, oh man. So I was at the time I was with someone and I was on the phone with them and I was talking to them and I was like, I need like a good character because like I'm starting to get to that point where I'm starting to like, be a little I don't think I'm hot stuff in the ring. I'm still pretty green, but I'm starting to get to the point where it's like, okay, I think I could take a booking or two. I know I can. So I was on the phone with this person and at first it was gonna be the blessed Des Marciano, but then I looked up pro wrestler blessed. That's why I just looked up because it's like, let me see if anyone has a name. Casey Navarro had it in TNA, and I was like, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't take it. So then I was like, damn. Well, I thought I was gonna be blessed, blessed Des, but I was gonna like do a wordplay, but it's like, because I wanted to use my name, so I was like, damn, what can I use my name for? And then for some reason, that night I was watching old SmackDown, and I'm not a bandwagon, but my favorite mid carder back then when I was like, oh God, how old was I? I was probably like, we'll say like 9. My favorite mid carder at the time was Cody Rhodes, and he had a gimmick called Dashing Cody Rhodes,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then I thought about my name as well, like I was trying to do. I was like, okay, well, I'm inspired off, Dashing Cody Rhodes, desirable. My name is Des, desirable. Let me just use desirable Marciano. And
Yeah.
then I thought about like, okay, well now how am I gonna act? How am I gonna like perform? Like what's my character gonna be? Because I don't want to just be like a knockoff Cody because that's like not fun. Not to say there's nothing wrong with Cody. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm like yapping too much. But then I love Cody. I love Cody. No, no say to Cody. Fuck it. It's like But then I thought about it. I was like, damn, like, okay, now how am I gonna act? Because obviously I want to have a certain character. My favorite video game, one of my favorite games is Mortal Kombat. One of my favorite characters is Johnny Cage. So I thought about him like, he's cocky, he's arrogant, and if I sit there and I think, oh yeah, I'm desirable. You don't need to tell me I am. I'm desirable. That's cocky. That's arrogant. I could just literally just take some characters from Johnny Cage, take some from Cody, although and you know what I just said, but then that's where I got it from.
Nice.
I'm yapping. I'm yapping.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. It's one of those things too where like I had to find like 5 characters that like I wanted to kind of model myself after, like my
Right,
wrestling character, and then like 5 characters that like I wanted to wrestle as because I feel like that's like the rule of thumb, and then you want to build like the world around it from there.
right.
And when I was like, I remember like my trainer too. When I was training in Maryland, my trainer was like, "Well, you're a mercenary. Like let's lean into the military thing, right?" So, well, he's like, "You're a military, so let's lean into the mercenary side of things and let's just have some fun with that." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then I was like, he was like, "Yo, give me 5 characters that you really like," and none of the characters resembled anything what like a military person would be, right? I mean, we're talking like I don't know if you know who Hannibal King is. It was a guy that Ryan Reynolds played in Blade Trinity. Uh, all the characters ended up being guys that were played by Ryan Reynolds essentially, and so I was like, yo, so clearly like I'm fascinated with this whole like d bag type merc who wants to talk shit. And I was like, oh, this is Deadpool.
I was thinking
Right
that. I'm like, oh,
there.
that's cool.
So and then like from there, it was just like about like playing around and just figuring out what I liked and what I didn't like and what felt natural to me, and I could just like turn up to 100. And so like more became more of me just talking talking as much shit as I could to like the crowd when I'm like being a heel, and then when I'm being a baby face, just talking as much shit as I can to the heel. Just,
That's a hard thing I fall under too. Like I'm still new. One thing I realize is that like my character's a douche, so I always naturally fall to being a douche, but I try to make it less healy. So it's kind of hard. So whenever a promoter's like, "Hey, can you be a face?" I'm like, "I can be a face." Do I have to be super white me, or could I be like a little Steve Austin type face, kind of like talk my smack? And they're like, "Go for it, be that face," and I'm like, "Thank you." I talk so much shit. If you haven't seen my promos on my Facebook, I talk so much shit. I
I
do.
want to. Yeah, it's funny too because like when I'm wrestling, my actually my promos are ridiculous as well. Like I actually have seen your promos. Um, and you do have I like your one where you're like you're pretending. I think it was for I think it was GWP. You were pretending to be sick, and you're like, you know what I'm sick of? Sick of having the first one pick. And I was like, I'm a fan of this. This is good.
Yeah. I, and the fun fact is, I was sick. I was actually sick. That I was, and then me putting on my normal voice and me pretending that I wasn't sick. I'm still somewhat overcoming that sickness. If I sound a little congested, that's why.
That's why. No, it's one of those things where like I had to play with a bunch of different ideas, just kind of figure out what kind of promo style I liked and what I wanted to do. So I finally figured out that I like sitting. So funny enough, I cut probably like 3/4 of my promo like in this chair right here with a white background because I want it to seem like it's in a classified room that people have to come find me. Otherwise, like I'll do promos like I'll do is whatever I could think of. So I know I've done one with like Steve from Blue's Clues. Like I've done that kind of promo, which was a lot of fun. I did one with like a Disney laugh track. I did one pretending that was in what you call I was in a confession booth, like the real world or like Big Brother. Like I did that. So I've done like
That's
all
pretty hard.
different styles. So I'm trying to figure out what's gonna work and what's not, and what I want to do. So I'm like, all right, let's figure this, let's figure that, let's do this. And so I play with a bunch of different ideas and just see what sticks and what doesn't. Because
That's
ultimately
it.
you have to do that too. You got to evolve your character.
Right. And that's what I've been thinking about. Like, okay, like how am I gonna continue? Honestly, though, the way I see it, like, I don't know. When I wrestle, I like to keep these very simple and very like story driven. I'm not really like you're not gonna catch me doing a 450. I'm not that athletic. Like this is we're calling a spade a spade. I'm not gonna give you no crazy flips or tricks. But I try to invest in the storytelling more. So I'm trying to think of like ways to do that. But I think the way I see it is like the more I spend time in a certain company. So let's say, so I prioritize two companies right now. I prioritize RICW, World Championship Wrestling, and OCW. So my character growth in each company is going to be different depending on, what I'm doing in that. And that's just the way I see it. I don't know if that's like an everything thing, but that's kind of what I've been thinking about. Like when it comes to evolving my character in certain places, it's just going to be different wherever I am.
I like that. I mean, and that's how it is with me. Like, I wrestle everywhere between like Maine to West Virginia, and it feels like each state wants something different from me depending on where I'm at. They're like, we need the white meat baby face. I'm like, okay, let's go get it. Like, hang out. Some of them is like, I just want
Yeah.
you to be like they're like, I want you to be a badass face. I'm like, all right, cool, I can do that. Or it's just want you to be a complete dick. And I'm like, I can do that as well. I love all aspects. I think that's what's fun about making characters and building the world, and then just like figuring out what world they want you to play in, and then just like
Right.
develop that whole world inside, and then just like tearing it up and just destroying everything that people think that you're gonna be about. So talk to me, man. Like, you're still relatively kind of new in the business, man. So what's a hard lesson that you've had to learn being in the business?
Nothing, and I mean nothing in this world can prepare you. No cardio, no stairmaster, no fucking treadmill. Nothing is gonna prepare you for in the ring whenever you're doing the motions. I'm a bit embarrassed by it, but I'm gonna say I had a match with Denzel Jordan at OCW, and towards the end, I was sucking wind bad, and I was sucking wind, and I got gassed, and people still said the match was great. They liked it, but I was very just hard on myself because I was like, man, I gotta get in better shape. I do all this, but then I think to myself like, I run a mile every day on the treadmill. So that's the hardest thing I learned. Nothing's gonna prepare you for it. So just ring time is the best way to get prepared. That's what I learned, like the hardest way. And I do
Yeah.
get my fair share of ring time in too, but when you're going like, 16 to 20 minutes with somebody that's on the level of Denzel Jordan, okay, yeah, all right. Especially I'm still new.
I like it, and it's one of those things too where it's like the more ring time that you have, the more experience that you gain, the better your cardio is going to get because you're going to know how to pace a match. And I think that's like the most important part is that you want to know like pacing, what the story is you're trying to tell, like what you want to go for, how you're going to do it. All those things like matter. And I so like even for me, like I've been meaning to get back into practice, like into a training facility, just go work on some stuff and get some reps in, so that way I can like keep myself kind of sharp. So that way when I get back into, like, fun fact for you guys, they don't know, we're recording this on December 3rd, or December 3rd. I don't have a show till like January 10th of next year, so like I have a long time to just like chill out and just kind of get myself healed up and back into like a good shape, so that way I'm not like like tripping on everything. But also cardio does come into play. Like you want to get into good shape and you know be ready. So yeah, you're right though. There's my trainer used to always say there's three types of shapes in wrestling. There's out of shape, in shape, and then in ring shape. And yeah, so
Yeah.
two of those three will benefit you in the ring, and one of those will not.
Another fun thing I learned, not fun, I don't, well, another good thing I learned, I don't know why I was about to say fun thing, was take my time. Because I would have, little practice matches up in Fall River, just doing my thing. And when I first like was going there after like, getting back into it, I would like move do everything at 1,000 miles per hour, and it's just like, what is happening? What is going on? It's all over the place. Take my time with everything. And I think I did a really good job with just, taking my time and like you said, pacing things and letting the crowd just react to it, even feeding off them or giving them something to work with, to whether they're either booing me or cheering me, and then hit them with something. Especially when I'm a heel too. I love to take my time as a heel and just talk my smack to everybody.
I mean, you're a theater kid. I feel
Yeah.
like the best. I don't know this to be exactly true. I feel like the best wrestlers though are theater kids because like my best friend is a theater kid, and like he's always performing. So we're always talking about like making things matter and taking your time with things, because like if you're in a hurry, you're gonna make mistakes,
Right.
and there's no place worse to make a mistake than live. And to be able to cover it, make it look like it wasn't meant to happen. That's all matters. But like when you make mistakes in the ring during practice, it's fine. But like as a theater kid, you have to be able to adjust on the fly super quick. And that's like one thing that I started working on a lot more, was like my improv side of things. So where like if something happens, I could just make it up and then cover it, and then we go back about our business. Whereas I feel like when you're not having that theater background, not having an improv background, and you're kind of just like stuck to the one, two, three, four, like when one thing goes wrong, like then all of a sudden everything goes wrong because you're off pace. You don't know how to recover. So it's like working with someone with a lot of experience always matters.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. Because I had a funny. I keep bringing up this Denzel match. I had a funny moment in the Denzel match. Well, I forgot the spot. I did. So it was supposed to be a pinning combination. I don't know if I'm breaking kayfabe too much here, but it was supposed to be a pinning combination, and I forgot the spot. So instead, I just continued back to the storyline promo that we cut, and I kind of stopped, looked at him, and I was just talking my smack, being like, "Are you gonna respect me now? Are you gonna give Youngblood his respect?" And then, meanwhile, as I'm talking smack, he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the next spot." And I was like, "Okay, got it."
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
That's good. See, that's like the benefits of having like a good veteran in the ring, to like he's able to talk to you and help you get through like what's next and what's going to happen. I know I've had parts too where I've had like friends where like I forgot a thing, and I just like grab them, and hopefully they have like my favorites is guys with long hair. I love it, right? Because like I'll just grab them, throw them a quick shot, and be like, hey, yo, where we going next? And then find out where we're going, and then we're like, all right, good, we're good, all right, cool, we got it. But it happens a lot where I would just be like, hey man, what we doing real quick? All right, bet, I got it. But no, man, it's kind of cool to see that you're kind of like figuring things out and kind of moving slowly. I like it, and that's important that you're focused on the two areas that I want to get to. What other places are you looking to like expand to?
Well, like I said, I would love to get into Proving Ground. Like, I love the people there. Todd's an amazing person. At After the OCW show, because I've been at two OCW shows. After those shows, Todd has talked to me about my match, gave me pointers and stuff like that. And Todd's just an all around great dude. So definitely Proving Ground, and that's another spot I could think of. Honestly, I'm open to work anywhere. I'm such just I want to consume everything. So I'm open to working everywhere. But the goal for me, like in my mind, like hopefully by like next year, if not next year, the year after, hopefully get a couple proven ground matches. Maybe hopefully one.
Bet. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna bump this over to my favorite part of the Three Count Podcast. That's the Three Count Podcast, 10 count questions, and this is how it works. I'm gonna fire off 10 questions at you rapid fast, and whatever your answer is, that is your answer.
Cool.
So we're gonna put the imaginary timer for added pressure. Bing. And in the words of my favorite commentator, Mike Goldberg, here we go. SmackDown or Raw?
SmackDown,
Favorite cartoon?
regular show,
Marvel or DC?
DC,
Favorite TV show?
Invincible,
Pepsi or Coke?
Sunkiss,
Favorite movie?
Scarface,
It's a great one. Waffles or pancakes?
pancakes,
Favorite podcast?
Leo Connors,
I love it. Nominate one person that you want to see on this podcast.
Chaz Marinelli.
I've had him on.
um,
Be fair.
um,
You're good though. I like the pick.
okay.
Everybody know. Had him on. Last but not least,
Yeah,
my favorite question to ask every single person that comes on this show. Favorite curse word?
bitch.
It's got to be
Just you
top
get
two.
hit. Bitch.
Yep.
But hey, never call a woman that. Never call a woman that. Never, ever. Anyone who's watching this, never call a woman that.
And I'm gonna let
We call
everybody know
men that.
never and always is a long time. Okay, so try not to.
We call men that, though. We do call men
I don't know. I call them Mitches.
that.
Like you Mitches. Shout outs to Kevin Hart. All right, man. Those are all my questions I have for you, man. The last thing I want to ask is for you to let our listeners and our viewers know where they can find you.
So on Instagram, I just made it brand new. Don't even have 30 followers. Des Marciano, exactly how it's pronounced. And on TikTok, it's Des.Marciano. I don't know who else took that name, but great. And then on Facebook, it's just my name, Des Marrero.
Yeah, so he told you where you can follow him. He gave you all the handles. And like he said, sometimes you can catch him on his shows. You know, whether it's at RICW, you can catch him at GGWP, you can catch him at PG. You know, he travels around, so you guys can go
Hopefully.
check him out. And you know, that means like every great part of a wrestling match, we gotta take this home. Because this is the Three Count Podcast, which that's now entering. And I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller, the man that leads you up that mountain called wrestling. And like every good shirt, it's not about me, it's about who's entering. So who's entering? You see him right there. The desirable one. Is Marciano, and you guys know what to do. Tune in to the next episode and be there, or you're legitimately waiting for this podcast to, you know, have you jump on our social medias, like them, share them, comment. Also, tell your friends all about us. You're going on YouTube. You're subscribed to our channel. You're checking us out on, you know, Spotify. You're listening to us on Amazon Music. You're even checking us out on that dumb podcast with the dumb jingle. You know, it goes like iHeartRadio or whatever it is. Right? You're buying our merch on foryourwear.com, or you're even checking out all of our merch on prowrestlingtees.com. You're telling your mom about us, your dad about us, your aunties, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your best friends, your enemies, because we love haters too. And don't forget to tell your nanas and your grandpas about us, because you know we love it when everybody checks us out. So you're doing all that, or really you're just kind of waiting for this episode to end. You're waiting for the outro, and you're choosing another episode to listen to.
Oh,
Kawaii. What's up? It is your friendly neighborhood Red Dog, and thank you for checking out this episode of the Three Count Podcast. Whether that was Chaz friends, Red Dog friends, Damien friends, the Film Styles, now entering the ring, now entering 201, or now returning to the ring, you know, all those good episodes. You should really be liking, commenting, and even sharing this with your friends, family, whoever it may be. But what you all should be doing is checking us out on all of our social media platforms at 3 Count Pod. Whether that's on IG, Twitch, you know, you can check us out on Threads, whatever it may be. And if you go check us out on X, it is 3count_pod. Check us out on YouTube, as well as Facebook, on Rumble, on Apple Music, on Spotify. All those fun things. You know, tell your mom about us, your dad about us, your aunties, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, and your best friends and your enemies, because we love haters too. Do all that stuff. And then, you know, last but not least, buy our merch on foryourwear.com or prowrestlingtees.com. Kawaii.